Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how to do research for your first cycle kart build. So let's get started. Alright, so a lot of news guys are finding CycleKarts for the first time on my YouTube channel, and I'm grateful you're finding us. You're finding us on Facebook and places like that, and a lot of you guys are asking the same questions that I asked myself back in 2015. And I'm sure everybody that's ever built the CycleKart starts off asking questions. Why not bigger brakes? Why not different size wheels? Why not a bigger motor? Why not a high performance motor? All these questions are answered if you just look in the right spots. The right spots are CycleKarts.com. Now this is the website that Michael Stevenson curates. He and his dad, I think it was, and maybe his uncle put this together back in 2002, I believe, after the Road and Track article came out for April Fool's Day about CycleKarts. Look that up online if you can find a Road and Track article, April Fool's Day. A lot of the questions most guys have are answered in those pages. It addresses the brakes, it addresses the one-wheel key, it addresses how lightness in a CycleKart is better, and how simplicity is better. And so these are all the things that you will find if you look at their website. And Michael's done a great job of curating it and keeping it up to date. He's recently updated it with Laguna Seca pictures and more information about the history of CycleKarts and where it all comes from. So if you look at those pages, there's lots of information as you drill down through that website. Some fantastic resources on the reasons that we're doing all the things we're doing with the wheels, with the brakes, with the motor. It's important because these are the CycleKart formula. Okay, so we're not making up new stuff as we go along. There's no need to put front brakes on it. There's no need to put a V-twin Harley on it. There's no need to put giant motorcycle wheels off a Harley Davidson or some sort of bigger motorcycle. The 17-inch wheels we use are perfect. The reason we're saying all this is because new guys ask the same questions every time. Why not bigger brakes? Why not a bigger motor? Why not different wheels? Why are we doing the things we're doing? So if you do this research and look at this website and just spend 30 minutes reading it, I think a lot of those questions are going to be answered. You're going to better understand what CycleKarts are all about. You're not going to build something in your garage and come to an event and find out you got off on the wrong track, or find out that you're a hyper-competitive person. You're coming out to the event to win the race. Okay, so if you look into the information on that website, you'll find CycleKarters are not all about racing and winning. It's about having fun with your friends. Okay, so if you want to go on seriously race, there's other venues to do that. CycleKarts are not really that. There's some guys who do race, but I'm just saying the main mantra of the CycleKarter is not to race. Okay, so there's the next place you probably should check out is GTVGP.com. So the GTV group is the people who put on the Tieton Grand Prix. And if you found CycleKarts, you've probably heard of the Tieton Grand Prix. It's the oldest and largest CycleKart event in the world. It's been going on now. This coming year will be the 8th year in 2022. Took a break for, I think, 2 years because of COVID and some other things going on. But it'll be back this summer, 2022, in June. That is an invitation-only event, and it runs under the GTVGP.com rules, the builder's guidelines. So I invite you to go to their website and read the builder's guidelines, read the builder's profiles about the different CycleKarts that they feature on their site. So it is a club based in the Northeast, Northwest, not the Northeast, the Northwest, up near Seattle area, Washington. So the GTVGP.com webpage has lots of information on it, the builder's guidelines. Some people criticized it for being a little too specific and a little too ruling. Even they will tell you those rules are meant to be bent or broken. It's designed to give you a guideline of what a CycleKart is supposed to be. You get too far outside the guidelines and you're not building a CycleKart anymore, in our view. Okay, this is a North American CycleKart view. So if you're in a different part of the world, it's up to you and your group to decide what's going to go. The guys in Australia kind of model after us. The guys in Europe pretty much model after us. The guys in South America and Central America are probably using motorcycle engines and gearboxes, primarily because that's what's available in that place. They don't have go-kart suppliers like we have. They don't have Harbor Freights on every corner to where you can go buy a $100 motor. So there's reasons for different areas having different things, but in America, in North America, we primarily go with the go-kart power, the torque converter, the 17-inch wheels from a vintage Honda motorcycle, and the simple Grand Prix style body. and with a simple ladder frame. Okay, so let's go back to the Stevenson Formula, which I'm sure you've heard that word. So the Stevensons invented CycleKarts back in the mid-90s, and they popularized what it is today with their website and the Road and Track articles. So none of us would know anything about CycleKarts had it not been for the Stevensons. And some people are critical of the Stevenson Formula being too restrictive. And I think most of us, including me, have built karts that are inspired by the Stevensons but have taken it a notch further. We've got a little more framework in the frame. The body's a little more complex because we're not doing it with a wooden tub box. I'll encourage you to look at that formula and think about seriously starting from there. Do the Stevenson method. Do a wooden box, with 1/4 inch plywood or 3/8 inch plywood. The lighter the better. And use that method to build your first kart. If you do, I think you're going to be surprised. I was able to drive a real Stevenson CycleKart, the Delage, at Laguna Seca. Michael Stevenson brought that to Laguna Seca this past November in 2021. And he was kind enough to let me take a few laps in it. And I will tell you, the difference between his kart and my kart, there's not that much difference. I mean, mine's arguably more sophisticated. It's got hydraulic brakes, it's got a differential, it's got a little more engineering into the bodywork and that sort of thing. But his kart really drove very nicely. It's exactly what a CycleKart is supposed to be. It's quick, it's fast, it's nimble, and that's what it's supposed to be. So we tend to almost over-engineer some of this stuff. And I'm guilty of it too. And that's okay. It's not wrong, it's just different. So if you're starting off for the first time, don't be afraid to build it the traditional way. The original CycleKart formula does work, so don't be afraid of it. When we talk about no front brakes, we're not saying you can't put front brakes on it, we're saying it adds weight, it adds complexity. It might affect the way the car steers because the front ends are very, very light. There's virtually no weight on the front wheels. So if you put brakes on those front wheels, they're not going to have a whole lot of traction anyway, so they're going to be minimally effective for the amount of effort you're going to put into putting brakes on it. Some guys say they want a gearbox. Gearboxes are complicated, they're heavy. The CVT torque converter works great. There's no need for a gearbox. We're not going more than 45 or 50 miles an hour anyway. And if you go that fast, these karts are just not that safe at those speeds, so be warned. If you want to build a car, build a cycle car. You want to drive it on the street, make it street legal, whatever, that's fine. But it's no longer a cycle kart at that point. I understand if you're new to the hobby and you want to come in and put a bigger motor in it, put a high performance engine, do all these things that I've even thought about doing. Try to avoid that. I think it's unnecessary. It's not needed. It's been proven it's not needed. If we've been doing this now, well, the Stevensons started in 95 or 96, so 27 years ago, if I'm doing my math correctly, and it works. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So let's not keep reinventing the wheel. And I'm not trying to be critical of you guys coming up with those ideas, because I've had the ideas, Dennis Thomas has had those ideas, but once we do the research and we understand what's going on, you drive your first cycle kart, you'll understand it. I encourage you, try to find a cycle kart in your area and go try to and reach out to the owner. And most guys who have cycle karts will invite you over to take a drive. So that's the point of this whole video, is to make you understand, or hopefully get the point across to you that cycle karts are meant to be fun, exciting, and simple. Complicating them and reinventing them, I understand the need for it, or the thought pattern of doing it, but it's not necessary. So get out there in the garage and build something cool. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, and all that jazz. We'll see you next time.